Good morning, everybody. Good morning, everybody. Thank you, and welcome to the 2025 Social Impact Summit. It's so lovely to see you. I know how busy you are. I know how pressing things are back at work, but you're here today, and we're going to create something really, really special. So we have builders, we have shapers, we have impact makers, and today it is going to be something different. My name is Sharon Davis. I'm your MC for today. Before we start, I'm just going to make a quick check that you're in the right place. We have other conferences happening. If that's where you're meant to be, welcome to your free accidental upgrade. Only kidding. You're welcome to stay. If you are meant to be here, we are so excited. I'm Sharon Davis, as I said before. I'm the founder of Good Place Co. And Good Place Co, we work with predominantly place-based organisations supporting leaders to build sustainable leadership systems, deliberate, purposeful support systems for leaders. Not as a crisis response, but as purposeful, good organisational planning. Before then, I was 15 years in the charity sector, 5 years as the Chief Executive of Young Enterprise. My background is youth work, and it's in my bones. And so when Matt said, would you like to help me out and be the MC of today? It was such an easy yes. And I remember he said something that stuck with me at the time. He said, Sharon, and when Matt says Sharon, you have to listen. He said, Sharon, this isn't a conference, it's a summit. A conference can sometimes drift into show and tell. A summit asks more of us. A summit is because you're here as builders, you're here as impact makers, shaping impact across hundreds of organisations. And so this is about creating together a space where we can be honest, where we can learn about what's not working, feel okay to talk about what's not working, explore what meaningful impact means right now in this moment, how we align our teams when the contexts are shifting wildly as we speak week by week, how we measure things that genuinely matter and not just the things that are easy to measure. So today is about us creating that space. It will be about being collective, compassionate, hopefully lots of fun along the way. And our hope is that by the end of today, we will have contributed and we will have gained something meaningful that you can take back, we can take back and share with our teams. And so that's why a summit feels different, and that's why it was such an easy yes for me. So before we dive in, a quick note about logistics. We're not planning any fires today, so if the alarm goes off, it's either this one here or that exit there. The restrooms are out to your right and then directly to your left. If you have any accessibility needs we've not yet captured, please speak with our brilliant Chantel. Chantel's waving, and we'll do our very best to support you. And we're talking about creating a safe, inclusive space. And so we want to make sure that you get that opportunity to engage. We want to hear from you and not just the loudest voices in the room, which is why we want to use the Slido QR code. So there it is. If you haven't already, please use the QR code to get to Slido. It's very funky. You get to the point where you can ask questions. So get to the Future of Social Impact Summit. Nearly said conference. Every time I say conference, Matt wants £25. Very good. Simon's here, fundraising, everybody. We can just see how this is going to go, can't we? So if you use that QR code, you can type in your question. What's really good is if you see someone else's question, you think, that's a fantastic question. You can upvote and you can kind of press a like, and then so the chairs of those panels get to ask the questions that lots of people want answering. So there you go. So last thing, we are talking Chatham House rules today, of course. We are actually recording the workshop sessions though, so that it can be accessed online. But if you do find yourself sharing something that you would prefer not to be recorded, that's absolutely fine. Please just let the chair of the panel know, and we'll make sure we'll remove that from the transcript. You'll have plenty of chances to get involved in the breakout sessions. I keep getting this wrong, but session the how to build meaningful theory of change will be in the breakout room across the way, Ben Lay. Now that has a 70 people capacity, so once that's full you'll get redirected, and communicating your difference, that's the first breakout session, is in here at 11:25. So I think that's where we are, other than to say, if you would like to use your phones, other than to look at your emails, let's just agree we're not going to do that today. People are looking a bit nervous about that now, aren't they? But if you're going to use your phone, please do share your experiences on social media. Use your hashtag, it's Future Impact 25, and the team at Trust Impact will help you amplify that. So shall we get started? Yeah, let's go. Now then, to help us set the tone for the day, tell us a little bit more about the backdrop of the day, I am delighted to invite to join me someone who has spent his life really building impact organisations and then helping others understand what impact means. Please join me in welcoming my former boss, founder, chief executive of Trust Impact, Matt Stevenson-Dodd. You all right? Well then, can you still hear us at the back? Yeah? Good stuff. So, big year for you. Writing a book? Written a book?
Yep, finished, almost.
Well, we'll get, almost. We'll get to the book and the book tour in a minute, but obviously it's been a big year for Trust Impact. It's brilliant to see impact leaders here today. You must be touched about that. You're having so many conversations with leaders across the social impact sector. What are you seeing and hearing right now in the social impact world?
Yeah, hello everyone. Good to see you all. Thank you for coming. It's a really good question, Sharon. I think we'll all undoubtedly know how difficult it is at the moment. That's what I'm hearing really consistently from lots and lots of leaders. How difficult it is to fundraise, how difficult it is to respond to the need that's out there, how difficult it is to keep everything going when it's really tricky. What I'm also hearing though is that there's a lot of interest in putting impact at the heart of things again, to make sure that what we're trying to do is actually to make a change, not just to run our organisations for the sake of it. We're actually wanting to make a difference in the world. And it's just so encouraging to hear that from the leaders that I speak to, even in these really tricky times, that impact is still the most important thing. It's why we all got into this work. It's why we all started out. And it's so easy to just get into the day job of running things and responding to the next thing that's come up and the biggest problem that you're facing. But actually taking that step back and thinking about why are we doing it, that's really important.
And you made a very purposeful choice to make today, very practical, about understanding, measuring and maximising. What drove that kind of content planning?
Yeah, I think understanding, measuring and maximising for us are the three core principles of impact. A lot of people will look at data visualizations and think, that's amazing, I really want that data visualization, but it actually starts with strategy. It starts with putting impact at the heart of what you're doing, being really clear about the core purpose. And so that understanding piece is so important, and we'll cover these three areas throughout the day. The measurement bit is when you can overdo things, when it can be overcomplicated. So for me, measurement is about keeping things simple. What are the 3 to 5 things that really matter to the organisation, and putting those at the heart of everything you're doing? Yes, you'll need more information, but being really clear about that is so important. And then the maximise bit is the exciting bit. It's how you share that impact with the world, and can you tell a really clear impact story? And that's where the live data comes in, and there's so many great things you can do these days that you couldn't do 5 or 10 years ago. There's a lot of things really changed.
And you were very focused when you spoke to me about people gaining practical insights from today. What are you hoping that people will walk out of today taking away with to their teams?
Yeah. I mean, I've probably, like all of you, been to a lot of these kind of conferences, not summits.
Okay. £25, Stonewall.
It's in the donation. But you sort of sit there passively and you kind of, listen along, and you come away and you think, did I really take something? What we really want from today, like we did last year, is a good conversation. We want to bring a group of friends together, a group of people like-minded who are thinking about the future of social impact, so that you all come away with real tools that you can take to the organisation and think about things in a different way. And if you haven't done that, let us know, because we'd love to just make that better every time. So we're hoping the sessions, we've got some amazing speakers along the way. We hope you get something out of all of those. The Slido questions last year worked so well. It's not the loudest voice in the room that gets to ask the question. If your question's great, people will vote for it and it comes up, and then we get some really good quality questions and a lot of engagement in that way. So yeah, we want real practical outcomes from this. It's a summit of people.
Giggling at the front again. And on the book, jokes aside, what are the key themes of the book that you'd like to share today?
Yeah, I'm writing a book. Did you?
Yeah, I heard there was a rumour that he's writing a book.
It's been such a privilege to write the book this year, and I've got to speak to lots and lots of different people, many of whom are in the room today. There's about 20 case studies in the book. There's probably three key things that came out for me. The first was this idea of do or different organisations. And it's probably what I was just referring to before. It's a lot of organisations will be easily able to tell you what they do. This is how many things we run, this is how many people we work with. And they'll talk about numbers, and they'll describe the sort of operations of the organisation. But there are fewer organisations that talk about the difference that they make. If it's the first thing you say, test this at lunchtime in the breaks. When you go up to somebody and you say, what does your organisation do? Who are you? Let's see whether they talk about impact, or whether they'll tell you how big they are, or their financial turnover, or how many staff they employ. We really wanted to see a movement towards different organisations. I think if we put that at the heart, that's really important. So a lot of the case studies in the book are about those organisations that talk about difference rather than do. The second thing is about risk-taking. So this really struck me, that we're not allowed to take risks in the third sector. It's really tricky to try and do something new. And yet, the problems we're facing are really complicated. And we've got so many different ways that we could try and address them. And yet, we need to be allowed to take more risk. So part of the book is a manifesto on, this is aimed at funders in the room, how funders could unlock some of this risk-taking. What if funders set aside 20% of their funds for organisations to try things that will probably fail? And it sounds quite daunting, doesn't it? You imagine saying to your board, we're setting up this to fail. But actually that's how we're likely to then make more impact, if we're allowed as leaders to try new things and fail, and share the learning, and share that learning with each other. So that was the second thing. And then the third thing, the overriding point of the book, is to keep things simple. More and more as I got into this, more and more through Trust Impact, you just see lots of complication that's sort of unnecessary, really. And it's because people get really excited about wanting to know things. Can we find that out? Yes, we can. Let's go and do that. And suddenly your impact framework is 200, 300 different measures. Could we make it more simple? Yes, we can. And that's what the book is really trying to get to.
And you can pre-order the book.
Yes, you can pre-order the book.
You can pre-order the book right now. And when does it really come out?
Yeah, I was amazed by this. Naively, I thought you just write a book and hand it over and a publisher puts it out the next day. Obviously, that doesn't happen. So I've got to get it finished by the end of November. It's pretty much finished. And I'm looking at some of the people who've already read the book in the room, who've helped me out and given me lots of feedback. Last edits are going to be done end of November, and then it'll be out in June next year. There's a little sort of banner thing with my massive face on it outside. If you want to pre-order, there's a QR code on there. That'd be great.
Brilliant stuff. Matt, thank you for framing the day so brilliantly. We are now going to move to the fireside conversation.
Just before we do,
yes,
you've had a big year as well. You made a massive change setting up Good Place Co. It's not easy to start your own business, I know that, and just wanted to mark that and just say, well done. How you found it?
Yeah, I mean, what a time to set up a business. What a time to start up a business when things are so tough. But I think that's predominantly why I set up Good Place Co. I think, as I said before, my background is youth work and latterly in the charity sector. And I've seen time and time again incredible leaders, brilliant leaders who are doing incredible work, but often without the support structure that enables the organisation to be sustainable and for the leader to be safe, well and keep learning. And so I founded Good Place Co to really address that, really to help build purposeful, deliberate support systems for leaders. There's even a book about leaders eat last. You know, it's always the leader supports their team. The leader will give everything to their team. And hopefully we've got some chairs and boards in the room, because supporting a leader is the key risk that very often organisations don't talk about. We talk very often about kind of financial risk, but we don't ever talk about the risk of an exiting CEO or a leader, an unplanned exit. And so my work really is about helping leaders, organisations to build that support system so we can really track that long-term impact, but also enable those leaders to feel supported and valued and that they belong and that they matter.
Brilliant. Yeah, I'm sure that'll resonate with a lot of people. Yeah.
I hope so. I hope so. My wife hopes so as well, because I've got to earn a living. So there you go. But thank you so much, Matt. We're going to hear from you later on today to close the summit. And a big thank you to the Trust Impact team. We've worked really hard. So can we just thank them as well before we start the session?